GMAE is the way I normally say hi to y'all when I come on the air, both you Buzzsprouters, and you YouTubers. Today we're doing a little differently. We're saying Happy Memorial Day. And for a lot of you, it's not really a happy day. It's more of a day of remembrance. I kind of understand. I have both my parents are buried in Arlington National Cemetery, and it would be nice to visit them. But of course, they're in Arlington, Virginia, and I'm here in beautiful Daytona Beach, Florida. But I'll be heading that way on June the 12th, and I absolutely intend on June 13th to go and visit them both. My mom and dad both were in World War II. My mom was a nurse, an Army nurse, and she was one of the first folks that went across the channel to the English Channel to Normandy in World War II. She was in one of the original mobile army hospitals, and she served, I believe it was the Third Army, as did my father, which is General George Patton's army. She served there and went across Europe and did amazing things. And she was given a full military burial, 21 guns, the whole business. And she's buried in Arlington. She met my father in, I believe, 1945 in what was then American-occupied Germany. The war, I believe, was coming to an end, and they were able to meet and fell in love and all that good stuff. And he was initially a ranger who went across the English Channel on June the 6th, was in the first wave that hit Utah Beach, and he never talked about it ever, as I'm sure many of you have gotten from your loved ones if you've asked any questions concerning what conflict they were in. No matter what conflict it is, excuse me, cough. No matter what it is, be it World War II, be it Korea, Vietnam, be it whatever, Iraq, Afghanistan, usually they won't talk about it. And there's lots of reasons for that. And I believe each person has their own individual reason for it. But, you know, once you have tasted that type of conflict, once you have tasted war, you really don't want to share that with anybody else. You'd rather keep that to yourself. And yeah, so my dad never talked about it. My mom never talked about it. I mean, she was near the front lines, obviously, being a mobile hospital, part of a mobile hospital staff, but never really was at the front lines, but saw the effects of what happened on the front lines on a daily basis, sometimes for days at a time. And that's something she never talked about. So they're both buried there. My mom is kind of in one section of the cemetery, and my dad is in another. So it's going to be a walk for me to actually get from place to place. But I'm actually looking forward to spending some time with them. I haven't really seen them in quite some time since I moved here, and I'm looking forward to that moment. I'm also looking forward, obviously, to seeing the rest of the cemetery, which is, if you've never been to Washington, D.C., if you've never seen Arlington National Cemetery, it is awe-inspiring. It is beautiful. It is, it tells a million stories all at once. All you have to do is walk up and down the rows and just read the dates, the date born, the date passed away, and you can envision almost the many stories that happen or that are told on those gravestones. I actually have a friend of mine who goes every year and puts flags on all the headstones. There's obviously a huge group of folks that do that, but he's been known to do that. I don't know if he's doing it this year or not, but I know he's done it before. And so when you see those pictures of thousands of flags on tombstones, please know that there are a magnificent group of people who do that every year, and we owe them a debt of gratitude because it brings more into focus what this day is all about, and it brings into focus who these men and women were and what they did for us to be able to do podcasts and videocasts and all the other things that we do, all the other things we take for granted. Which also makes me think of something else, and I hesitate to do it, but on a day like this, I do worry. I do worry that that perhaps this election might be the last one that we have. We have a candidate out there who has basically said as much. And it concerns me. I have lived through a lot of elections. I was around. I was 14 when Richard Nixon was elected. I actually worked against Nixon in '72 for George McGovern. That was when I found out that I'm not really good at knocking on doors. Or maybe I was good at knocking on doors and just didn't like the fact that people would scream and holler and yell at me and slam the door shut. In 1976, it was my first vote, and I actually voted for Gerald Ford for president because although I believe Jimmy Carter is a good man, and I believe he's probably up there among the greatest of our ex-presidents, I, to this day, do not feel he was a good president. So I voted for Gerald Ford in '76. I voted for John Anderson in 1980, who was a Republican congressman in Illinois, but he was running as an independent that year against Carter and Ronald Reagan. And then the last time I voted Republican was 2000. I voted for John McCain in the Virginia Republican primary because I always thought John McCain was a good man. Even though I didn't agree with everything that he stood for, I thought that he would always have the country's best interest at heart. And so I voted for him. I have, as any good liberal Democrat will subscribe to, I lived through Ronald Reagan. I lived through George W. Bush. George H.W. Bush was all right. Didn't bother me. But I lived through George W. Bush. I lived through the monstrosity that occurred in 2016. This is my challenge. If I can summarize, because I don't want to stay on too long, because you've got things to do. You've got picnics to go to and events and all kinds of stuff. So my challenge is that when Reagan was president, when both Bushes were president, I never worried about the demise of the republic. I never thought that democracy was in danger. I never thought that our way of life was in danger. I never thought that anything would become of Congress or House of Representatives or Senate or anything, just Congress. I already believe that things are happening in the Supreme Court that aren't right, and I'm very concerned about. I've never thought that before, and there have been other conservative courts that, but I never thought to myself, oh, this is bad. This is really bad. I've never thought that. Never thought that. I never thought Ronald Reagan would end the elections as we know it. I never thought Reagan would do anything like take over the country. When when it was time for him to go, he went. I mean, he obviously gave it to his vice president, but they were two entirely different men, as I'm sure you know. I mean, they were quite different in thoughts and whatever. But I never was concerned. I never was concerned. Let's put it this way. I was never concerned that what your loved one or relative or friend or whatever died for, that we celebrate their memory on this day. I never thought that there would be somebody who would take the rights away that your loved one, relative, friend, whatever, died for. For us to be able to do this, for us to be able to celebrate any way we want to, or go to any church we want to, or say anything we want to, or have a freedom of speech and freedom of the press and freedom of religion. I have never thought that before. But I'm absolutely certain of it now. I'm absolutely certain of it now. I believe that should one of the two candidates, and you figure out who I'm talking about, it's not hard to figure this out. One of the two candidates win, we're never going to have another election. Or at least one that's not, it's a, put the quotes up, quote, an election. Because I think we're done. I think we're done as a republic. I think we're done as a democracy. I really do. Those are things I think about on a day like this. Thinking about those men and women in Arlington National Cemetery, and everything that they would have died for would be gone. Just gone. Stroke of a pen. It's what we keep hearing. Stroke of a pen. Everything can be done in the stroke of a pen. This election is really important. It's as important as what my mom went to France for, what my father went to France for, what they fought for, our way of life, democracy, what we believe in, the right for you to disagree with what I'm saying. I mean, I know they're out there. You all are out there. You disagree with what I'm saying vehemently, and you don't think it's going to happen, and that's okay. Because that's the way it is in the United States of America. You can disagree with me, and we just shake hands, and we understand that that's the way it's going to be. But I don't think it is. I think that if bad things happen this November, I don't think you're going to have that right anymore. Now, you may be happy, because I won't be able to say the things I'm saying right now. I won't be able to express the feelings that I'm feeling right now. I won't be able to. It won't be allowed. It will be against the law. It's kind of sad, isn't it? Thinking about this stuff on Memorial Day. When all those loved ones, and all those fathers and mothers and sons and daughters are at Arlington National Cemetery, and their little American flags being put on their tombstones. And they did a lot for this country. And I don't want to see it taken away. I really don't. That's all I have today. I wish you guys a very, very, very happy Memorial Day. Sorry this was so serious, but it's a serious day for me. I woke up feeling this way. I wanted to take a few minutes and just chat with you guys and express my feelings. And again, if you disagree with me, God bless you. I'm glad you do. It's the United States of America. You're allowed to disagree with me. As long as we can keep it that way, that's fine with me. As long as we can disagree and still go to that polling place in November or in primary days or whenever, that's fine with me. You can disagree with me all you want to. Have a great Memorial Day. Enjoy your loved ones. Enjoy your picnics. Enjoy your dinners. Enjoy whatever event you're going to. Concerts, whatever. And hopefully I'll get a chance to chat with you tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.